Hi there, my name is Cudabear. I've been playing RuneScape on and off for about 16 years now. During that time I've had lots of different kinds of restricted accounts, but I've never played an unrestricted main since 2011. That will change today. My goal is to build my new account to endgame content as fast as possible via routing and macro efficiency. Are you ready to jump in? Let's continue with Macro Efficient Main. Hello everyone and welcome back to Macro Efficient Main. In the last episode, we did questing. In this episode, we're doing more questing. Of course. We're already up to almost 100 quest points, which is absolutely incredible. And it'll go higher in this episode, though we're going to start having more skilling to do in between quests, as the gaps aren't always filled by experience rewards anymore. In addition to that, we're going to start doing some additional unlocks by the end of this episode, just to make sure that we're keeping the progress going in an even way. So let's go ahead and jump in. One small suggestion I received before we get started was actually to go ahead and purchase a Brutus shield. I had totally forgotten about this item even though I use it for the vast majority of Trailblazer League. It gives a really nice magic bonus as well as a massive prayer bonus of +5. So this will be our offhand for the time being. Again, magic bonus isn't super useful as almost all of the quest monsters we'll be fighting have basically no magic defense anyway, but it still helps and I might as well use it. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the first quest for today. And that is actually going to be the Knight's Sword. Alright, there's the Knight's Sword, which is obviously one of the most exciting early game quests because it gives a massive boost to smithing. I was level 1 smithing before this, and now I'm 29, that easily. I am a bit of a fool, I forgot to get a second Blurite ore for the achievement diary. Definitely recommended while you're doing this quest. But I did not, so I'll have to go back at some point. So the next one on our list is going to be Demon Slayer. Such a strangely anticlimactic ending to this one, where you just kill the demon and boom, quest complete. And also my cat is hollering in the background, sorry about that. So next is actually onto Shield of Arav, which I'll need some help to complete. Probably just use a spare account I have laying around. Before we start Shield of Arav though, huge thanks to 10th Kingdom, aka Nick, for 7,000 Wizard's Mind Mobs for the collection. That puts us over 10,000, that's so incredible. This is going to be such a fun thing to watch grow. Definitely give me a messaging game if you would like to contribute to the collection. Be happy to collect those and we can see how far we can get. Alright, there's the end of the Shield of Arav quest, which is a really nice one to get out of the way. It's a little annoying to have to find another person who has to do this quest, because most people have got it done already. So I actually just created another account to do it with me real quick. But the cool thing is, I picked the Black Arm Gang on this account, and Time Traveler is Phoenix, so when it comes time to do Heroes, both accounts will be able to do it together. Or if I finish Heroes first on this account, that's one that you can go back and help someone else with even if you've already finished, which is pretty great. Okay, so looking at the Optimal Quest guide, it looks like there's been a couple more small changes. I think to address the fact that you don't quite have the agility level required for Death to the Dorgeshin right when it is asked to do on the list. So it got moved down to just after where I am, just after Shield of Arav. So I've already done those, so I'm going to be able to skip all the way over to the dig site, which will be the next thing on the list. And that'll be great because I think we should be able to very quickly thereafter unlock Fossil Island, which is a huge unlock. So let's go ahead and get that done. Wow, big thanks to Fiji Luigi, I love that name by the way, 2,000 Wizard Mind Bombs for the collection. That is incredible. Wow, and Melinda's coming in with 10,000 Wizard's Mind Bombs. That is, oh, that's so cool. 2,000 more Wizard's Mind Bombs from Rizzy and 500k, oh my goodness. Wow, that's actually amazing. I don't even really know what I'm going to wind up using the coin donations for. I think I'll probably throw them into platinum tokens so that way I can save them on the side and then we can use them for a community event like a drop party or something. That'd be really cool. I'll just throw those in the bank in the same tab and we'll keep track of that and use it in the future. Thanks so much to Resi for that. Alright, so for the dig site, I think I'm just going to go ahead and suck it up and buy some dig site teleports. They're going to save so much time in this quest, and I really only need a couple. They are so ridiculously expensive though. Alright, there's the end of the dig site. A massive amount of mining experience for that, and a little bit of herb lore experience too, which is really useful. I can also go ahead and run these certificates, level 1 to 3, up to the museum, and exchange them for a fruit blast, which we'll need in a little while to begin Recipe for Disaster. So that's a really convenient little shortcut to make. We're also going to be doing the full museum completion all the way up until you can do both. So I'll go ahead and turn these in here, and I can grab a fruit blast, which is something to drink, and we need that. I might have already bought one actually, but you can get a free one anyway. We're actually going to be doing the full museum completion as well as the specimen cleaning here in a little bit, but first we have to do a Soul's Bane, so let's go ahead and get that done first. Before I jump into a Soul's Bane though, I'm actually going to go ahead and buy a Smoke Battle Staff. This is by far the most expensive gear upgrade I'm getting, but it's pretty nice as it provides unlimited air runes and fire runes, in addition to having a 10% damage bonus. So that'll be a big buff going into this quest, which has a lot of combat. Alright, there's the end of a Soul's Bane. Definitely a very fun, but kind of dull quest after you've done it like 7,000 times like I have. Just takes a little bit too long to get through some of the rooms. But it's good to have it out of the way, as now we're able to move on to the Varrock Museum, which is not going to be incredibly interesting because it's just a matter of talking to a few people and then cleaning a bunch of museum finds. So let's go get that done too. So the first thing we do is talk to Historian Minus here, and we tell him about all of the information that we've gathered from the quests we've completed so far, and he'll give us a couple experience rewards in exchange. And this is kind of strange, but we're actually going to use the experience rewards on woodcutting. It feels a bit weird, but it's actually the only real easy way we have to get up to 36 woodcutting for Lost City, and we'll even still have to do some training beyond this. And of course now it's time to do the artifact cleaning. If you've done this before it was made a lot better through a quality of life upgrade, you will be familiar with just how much easier this has become. Just the fact that you can take a whole bunch of them and then click on the table once, I think, to clean them. I think clicking them is still faster, but oh man, it's so incredibly nice. And look, there's one of the pieces I need already. Incredible. I'm going to go all the way through and get all of the pieces I need for the museum kudos, as well as the ruby necklace so that I can make dig site pendants. There we go, not too bad, like 10 minutes even. This is honestly so much easier than it was back in the day. I remember this took me well over an hour because you could only take one piece at a time, clean it and turn it in. You'll notice I also skipped turning in all of the junk items since I don't really need to get anything out of the crate, including the experience lamps. It's not a big deal, honestly. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn all of these in, and also the clean necklace such that I can get a dig site pendant. And the last thing is if you talk to the information clerk here, you'll get a bit of experience. And I think it's going to be in crafting and mining. So that's a nice little boost to those skills. And it doesn't give any kudos, but it's definitely worth claiming. So now we have everything we need to start the next quest, which is going to be Bon Voyage, or Bon Voyage. Alright, there's the end of Bon Voyage. And I realized that I forgot to bring the materials to build the bank chest, so I'll have to go grab those real quick. Okay, just kidding. I actually need construction levels to build the camp stuff on Fossil Island itself. So I won't be able to unlock the bank there, but it's not a big deal, since the only real reason I'll be going there for a while is actually just to do birdhouse runs. And birdhouse runs are one of the most amazing things that exist for a macro-efficient main. So birdhouse runs are so amazing to do on a macro-efficient account because it really only takes a couple minutes to do them, but the amount of money and hunter experience that you gain during that time is far more efficient than just training the skill normally. Okay, so just that little quick run around the island, and now I've unlocked the quicker dig site teleport to the house on the hill, as well as all of the mushroom transport system locations I need to unlock. So now I will be able to do these birdhouse runs in just a couple minutes. So I'm going to be doing these birdhouse runs pretty much as often as I can on the side. I'm not going to record them very much unless I get notable milestones along the way. So you can just kind of assume this will be happening in the background and I will be going up in hunter levels. Okay, with all of that done, we are on our way to Elemental Workshop 1 and then Elemental Workshop 2. Let's do it. And a good 3-minute quest knocked out of the way. Let's move on to the second Elemental Workshop. That one's a little bit longer. Alright, so I have a habit of screwing myself over on these quests. I dropped the beaten book, but thankfully the quest helper plugin saved my butt, because I think if you don't have it in your inventory and you try to use the mind bar, you create a shield and not the helmet, and you have to create the helmet to beat the quest. So I am thankful to the quest helper yet again, saving my hide and my time, because creating those bars is not fun. So this is a great one to get out of the way, get a really nice boost to crafting and smithing. Now we're going to actually go ahead and start Recipe for Disaster. I've been so excited to begin this quest line as it's probably one of the most iconic and sought after goals for an early game main. Of course you want to unlock those Barrow's gloves as fast as possible. We're just going to do the first 2 in the series, but it's still going to be a good start. So let's go ahead and get those going. Just like its predecessor before it, Cook's Assistant, this is pretty much just a start the quest and turn in all of the items. The items are a little bit more complex and you get a fairly lengthy cutscene from it, so it's a little bit different at least, and of course it kicks off one of the greatest adventures of all time that we all remember from this game. So I'm excited, let's get going. Alright, so that's the end of the opening of the quest. It's super long, but thankfully it's kind of entertaining as well. So we're just going to do the Goblin Generals at this point. We'll come back and do the rest later. Alright, I love how nice and easy these early game recipe for disaster parts are there so quickly. This one actually gives a nice little boost to farming, which is super nice. We actually are going to be moving on to Lost City next. Though unfortunately, the quests that we've done so far have not been enough woodcutting experience to meet the requirement for that quest. So I'm going to be doing some woodcutting and fire making in order to go ahead and unlock that. So let's go do that next. So one really pro tip when it comes to training your early game fire making is it's actually really worth it to buy and use fire lighters, which is kind of an interesting thought. You thought these are useless, but they're actually really useful when you're really low level fire making, as it makes it extremely consistent to light a fire, i.e. you never really need to wait to light it. In addition, it gives an extra 10 experience per log, so that'll greatly speed things up. So I'll be using those in the beginning. Alright, there's 36 woodcutting. I have all of the requirements to do the Lost City now, so let's go get that done. It's actually kind of ridiculous. I didn't realize that I would be able to move from regular birdhouses to oak birdhouses in the span of one trip. This has actually only been one birdhouse run since the last one you saw, which was the first one. Alright, that's the end of Lost City. Very iconic quest knocked out of the way. The next one that we're going to be able to do is actually Fairy Tale Part 1. And on its own is not a very important quest, but what it gets you in return is the most powerful unlock ability for teleportation and movement around the game that there is. So I'll be looking forward to unlocking that. Let's go ahead and do that next. But not before we get another donation coming in from Tis Called Jad. Another really great name. With a 2,000 donation of Wizard's Mind Bombs. Absolutely amazing. That's just so generous. Thank you so much to Tis Called Jad, and let's see how the collection is looking. 29,000. Incredible. So believe it or not, this is actually where that farming experience comes into play. Your max hit is determined partially by your farming level here, so I figured getting the Hosidius favor and a little bit of farming experience was worth it just to make this fight a little bit quicker. Alright, there's the end of Fairy Tale Part 1. So this gives a very nice reward, including the magic secateurs, which will come very much in handy when I'm ready to start doing herb runs, which should be pretty soon. They're really good money and definitely something I want to start doing ASAP. But we're going to go ahead and start Fairy Tale Part 2, even though we're nowhere near having the requirements for it, and it's for one very specific purpose. So this is actually the main unlock. Even though I don't have the requirements for this quest, I can still progress in it up to the point where I'm able to use fairy rings. And fairy rings are one of the most powerful transportation unlocks in the entire game, as they allow you to go very easily to lots of different faraway places with just a Drummond staff and the ability to access a fairy ring, of which there's one very close to the Ardoin Monastery teleport spot, so that'll be my primary method of getting around. And this will be pretty much where I end the quest. There's not much reason to continue it, as I'll run into a skill roadblock that I don't have for a while. And that's actually where we're going to go ahead and leave off this episode 4 of Macroefficient Main. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone is enjoying the progress so far. I'm definitely having a blast. I never thought it would be so much fun to build a main. Honestly, I thought all of this early game stuff would be pretty grindy, but it's really been fun so far, and I'm looking forward so much to all the progress that's yet to come. So far, we've already up to 115 quest points, just pounding out all those early game quests, getting as many early game unlocks as possible. And then almost up to 50 magic, pretty much passively, just from casting low alchemy while running around doing the quests, and 566 total. Basically, having done no skilling, I think the most I did was the woodcutting in this episode. Let's go ahead and ask our buddy Hans here about how long it's taken us. And we're up to 19 hours, 55 minutes, so realistically about 20 hours of gameplay so far to hit this point, with fairy rings unlocked, birdhouses unlocked, and herb runs on the cusp of starting. That is incredible. And honestly, there's probably 2 to 3 hours of time in there where it was just me messing around getting footage for my other series, Time Traveler Iron Man, that you could effectively eliminate. So I bet my actual playtime is more like 17 to 18 hours instead. In the next episode is when things will start to get a little bit more complex. We're going to be doing a bunch of different things other than just questing. We're going to be making sure that we progress this account in every way that is possible at this point. If you liked the video, definitely give it a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.